Thank you for tuning in to UTNN. I'm your host, Mustafa Abbasi. Tonight we have a very special presentation where we will take an in-depth look into the nuclear renaissance. The nuclear renaissance has taken off since 2001. Nuclear energy is expected to grow tenfold in the next 10 years worldwide. To discuss this, we are going to talk to our correspondents in Washington, D.C., the UK, China, and India. First, we will talk with Bob Smith, who is in Washington, D.C. He is going to talk to us about how Congress perceives the nuclear renaissance.
Here in Washington, there are two main reasons why these lawmakers are in support of the nuclear renaissance. First, it is a non-carbon emitting form of generating electricity. This does not release adverse greenhouse gases into the environment. Second, we have a secure supply of uranium, which is a primary fuel for nuclear power. We are not influenced by global trade in the sense that we do not have a highly volatile market price for our fuel, which we actually experienced a few years ago when oil reached over $140 a barrel. And in fact, it doubled within the same year from in the 70s to over 140. So for this reason, lawmakers here in Washington are very supportive.
Thank you, Bob, for that insightful report. Now we are going to talk to Nigel Adams, who is in the London Stock Exchange. He is going to share with us the financial and economic role nuclear power will play in the future.
Increasing fossil fuel prices have actually greatly improved the economics of using nuclear power as a means of electricity generation. Actually, many studies show that nuclear energy is the most cost-effective of the available baseload technologies. Furthermore, when we look at it on a long-term basis, nuclear power has a very big long-term advantage in that it exhibits insurance against fuel price exposure. So when we compare over the entire lifespan of the plant, a nuclear power plant versus, for example, a coal power plant, the cost per megawatt of electricity produced averaged over the entire lifespan of the plant for the nuclear power plant is the cheapest. This is also highly influenced by the minimal fluctuation in fuel price of nuclear fuel. Insensitivity to fuel price fluctuation also offers us a way to stabilize power prices in deregulated markets such as the nuclear power industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time out of your night to talk with us, Nigel. Let's turn our attention to JD, who is currently overseas in China. JD, where are you today?
Today we're in Shenzhen. This is a new fast breeder nuclear power plant that we are bringing online as we speak. And this is part of the Chinese strategy to increase their nuclear capacity sixfold to a total capacity of 50 gigawatts in the next 10 years by year 2020.
JD, what do you think about nuclear power and its role in fulfilling future energy demands?
It plays a dominant role. In fact, it currently produces 15% of the world's electricity, 24% of the electricity in OECD countries, these are the developed countries, and 34% of the electricity in the European Union.
Would you say nuclear energy has a bright future?
Very much so. In fact, we're consuming electricity at an all-time high today, and in the next 20 years, we will double our electricity consumption. Fossil fuels cannot keep up, and in fact, we've consumed the same amount of fossil fuels in the last 10 years as mankind has throughout the history of the world.
Thank you so much, JD, for that report. I hope you're having a good time in China. Let's turn our attention to Harish, who is our international correspondent in India.
Hey, this is Harish Chandra Balakrishna Shiva Subramaniam reporting live from India.
Harish, what are India's plans for nuclear power?
As part of the new national energy policy in India that was recently passed, India's target is to construct about 20 to 30 new nuclear reactors by year 2020.
Are these all going to be light water reactors?
They're not all light water reactors. They include light water reactors, but also the heavy water reactors and the fast reactors. 7 reactors are currently under construction, as you can see in the background, both indigenous and foreign design, including a 500 megawatt electrical prototype fast breeder reactor.
Will these new reactors be able to take advantage of India's rich thorium resources?
This will take India's ambitious thorium program to stage 2 and set the scene for eventual utilization of the country's abundant thorium to fuel the reactors.
That is very interesting. Thank you, Harish, for that report. That is all we have time for tonight. Make sure to tune in next week when we take a look at the state of nuclear weapons. I'm your host, Mustafa Abbasi. Have a great week.